Welcome to the X39 overview testimony call. We're going to hear some great stories from people this morning. And I want to thank David Jumper for hosting this call with his amazing wisdom and experience with using this technology that's helped so many of us in so many ways. And just thank you so much, David. We appreciate your guidance and your support. And this morning, what I'm going to do is do a quick overview, and then we're going to hear stories from people who are using the patches and how they've changed their lives. So I'm going to share my screen. And so basically what we're talking about is a technology that can help people say goodbye to symptoms faster. So that is the goal, is that if something is not feeling good in your body, this is something that can help. This helps your body to do its own healing, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit about how it works. One thing I just learned is that whether we're talking about pain or other symptoms, that 1 in 3 Americans use like Tylenol or ibuprofen, and this really can lead to problems for people. And so one of the nice things about this technology is it does improve pain, and I love it when I see people able to come off of medications. So we want to reduce pain if possible without medication. And that's why this is one of the ways that you can help make that happen in your body, because acetaminophen, ibuprofen, those things damage your internal organs. Like I've had to tell people they had kidney damage because of all of the over-the-counter pain medicines they were taking. So it's important to realize, even though they're over the counter, they're not always safe. So we're talking about a safe way to reduce symptoms and improve your body's ability to heal. And, olden days, we used to say, well, if you've had that pain forever, you're probably stuck with it. And now we have something that you're going to hear some stories of people getting improvement in things they didn't think they could get improvement with. So within what I call the new medicine is that we can actually turn on genes to reduce pain, increase repair in the body. And we're talking about technology that can increase repair. And the primary reason is so we can get people re-engaged in life, so that their symptoms go down and they're able to start to do life, have fun, that kind of thing. As we get older, we have fewer and fewer stem cells, and stem cells are helpful because they can lay down new tissue. And so if we can find a way to turn on the stem cells that we have, we are able to heal from things we didn't know we could heal from. So the question is, how do we reduce pain? How do we activate our own stem cells without having to go get injections? Stem cell injections are not accessible for most of us, right? They're like super expensive. They come with the potential of side effects. They're not really even ready for prime time for most issues. You have to go out of the country to receive most stem cell injections, and they're not covered by insurance. So we're trying to find ways that we can activate our body's own healing, and light is one of those ways. So you may not have heard about this when you're in school, but light actually changes things that are happening at the cellular level. So this is like a busy slide just to tell you that the medical research is figuring out how, when you use a specific wavelength, you can turn on certain chemical processes in the body. And this is a way that you and I can turn on actually younger genes, anti-inflammatory genes, tumor suppressor genes. And, you don't have to go and put on, get a funny looking helmet. You actually can use light without buying expensive equipment. And that's what we're talking about, the technology of a patch that is a phototherapy patch that gives a person specific wavelengths that can turn on younger genes. The way that this works is by using very specific frequencies of light that will activate your own stem cells by increasing a copper peptide. And this can reduce pain for people. It can, if you look across YouTube, you can find lots of great stories. And we're going to share some stories this morning about how X39 can help people heal up. So the way that it works, because y'all are smart, y'all can see there's not a light in this little patch, is that you and I put out a little bit of light. And the patch, when you place it on the body, reflects back some of your own light. And when you put on the X39 patch, it increases a copper peptide, and this is called GHK-Cu. GHK-Cu actually turns on around 30% of your genes to a younger, healthier state. And that's why we see so many different things improve. The patch does not treat or cure any disease, but what the patch does, it tells your body to turn on those younger, more healing genes so that your body can heal itself, right? So it's a supportive patch, it's a wellness patch, and you can turn on good genes by increasing this peptide in the body, GHK-Cu. And when we look at the research, this is not Lifewave research, this is independent research, we can see that there is a lot of great information coming out about what this peptide can do. And this is originating from Lauren Picard, who is the first person to identify this peptide. And now what we know is that when somebody puts on the patch, the X39 patch, they have increased energy, better sleep, faster healing, and things can get better that you just didn't think could get better. Certainly it's nice to have less wrinkles, but I love the relief of suffering when we reduce people's pain. All of these things, the sports performance, the more energy, it comes because we're turning on younger genes in the body. And it's not a placebo, guys. This is a horse who used the patches 6 months, and you see a big change in the horse's coat, a big change in the heat map of the horse. And this is helpful for people who go, well, people are just feeling good because they know they have a patch on. The horse did not know he was patched. So this is a very quick video that I like to show because it just helps us get a sense of all the people that have seen improvement. David, do you want me to show this or just dive into our own stories and possibly hold this? What do you think, David? Oh, you're muted, David. Well,
go ahead and show that for sure.
All right. So these are real people that are using these patches, right?
Folks, I have to tell you, I am beyond excited about Lifewave and X39. This is an answer to prayer to many.
So grateful for the energy enhancer. It makes every ride enjoyable.
Not only do I have energy all day long, but it turns the reverse and it helps me sleep at night all night long like a baby.
This is the best that I felt, honestly, in the last 2.5 years.
6 days in, no back pain whatsoever.
I've been trying the X39 patch for about a month now, and all the crackles and pops in my wrists and all my joints are gone.
The very first time I put patches on my back, I was nearly immediately relieved of low middle back pain.
After working a 10-hour shift, I used to go home and lay on the couch. Now, thanks to Lifewave X39, I get outside and I live life.
Now I can go up the stairs without being out of breath, and that's pretty great.
Lifewave has helped me to feel years younger.
It works great. My skin's getting better, my energy's amazingly better, and so is everybody else I'm patching. So grateful.
I love Lifewave, not only for helping me increase my energy so immensely in just the last couple of months, but for giving me an opportunity to help my friends and family and strangers alike. Thank you so much.
So a couple of these are also really cool pictures. This is a bruise, a full arm bruise. The doctor said it was going to take 3 to 4 weeks to get better. And day 3, you see the clearing around the patch. Day 5, the bruise is gone. So this copper peptide can do a lot of things. And as a family doctor and as a functional medicine doctor, I have not seen anything else that is similar to this, that comes close to this. You can't take a supplement that can increase this copper peptide. There's no other way that you can systemically increase it in the body. And so that's what makes this so remarkable and just truly a breakthrough in medicine. So while all we're doing is supporting the body to heal itself, that's what makes it so cool. And now I would like to hear y'all's stories. So if you guys would see below, there's a reactions tab. And if you, what we're doing this morning is we're giving away a full month supply, a free sleeve of X39, courtesy of David Jumper. Thank you, David, so much. And we're giving it to someone who shares their story. And that is it's just such a gift. And you know what, if you got that free sleeve and you have your own, you could share them with other people. Let's see if we can share the benefits. So if you raise your hand, I will see your I'll see your hand, and I'll know that you are ready to tell me a little bit about your story. You know, when so those are the reactions below. And you know, when the patches were brought to me by a patient. I was in my office and they said that it made their pain go away. And at first I was kind of like, okay, there's no light in that patch. How can it be phototherapy, right? And then I had to go and look more into it, because this is a pain we've been working on a long time. They were taking over the counter pain relievers and didn't want to. Pain got better. I used them myself and I was like, wow, my ankle pain is definitely better. I think I could jog. And then my friend told me about, oh, there's this other patch that's a stem cell activating patch. And then I was like, well, that's very interesting. I need to try that. And so I started to try that, and then my life came back. My vibrance came back. I was a person who really, I couldn't exercise. I was feeling extremely fatigued all the time, and I feel like the patches are responsible for bringing me back to life. And I'm so appreciative for the people that helped me find them. So that's sort of my story, and I would love to hear someone else tell a little bit about their stories. I could tell things about clients that I've taken care of too, but if you want and you can't figure out how to do the reactions, you can also raise your hand. And so we'd love to hear any kind of an update from anybody that wants to tell, or I can just keep talking. But I know that there's people on here with really good stories to tell. So do 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 do.
Everybody's muted too. So
Everybody's muted. Oh, look, John Bishop, unmute yourself, John. Hey.
Nobody else.
Good morning. Jump in.
Morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Well,
Good morning, John. So
John,
glad you're here.
I do have a little bit of a story. I spent 10 days in Cabo, Mexico. Got to meet David's good friend Don Strees down there, and I had a great time. And as you can see in the background here, this is the famous arch in Cabo. And so I went snorkeling one day, and it was wonderful. I was swimming with fishes and dolphins and everything, and then all of a sudden something shocked my arm. And I thought first that something had bit me, but it wasn't a shark, it wasn't a fish, it was a jellyfish. And so I was in a lot of pain. Got back to my room and pulled out the X39 and the Icewave and the Eon patch that I brought along with me. And the pain did not go away right away. It took a couple hours. But eventually the pain subsided, and I still got a little bit of as you can see here, a little bit of a mark, but it's nothing like it was before. It was just literally swollen up, very ugly, and they're little blue things. Don was telling me they're called blue boxes. And but they're little, but they pack a punch. So, but I could have to say that usually a person gets stung that way. It usually takes actually a few weeks to really heal and the pain to go away, because they're quite the nasty little buggers.
Well, I'm so happy that you had what I call the trifecta for pain, the X39, the Eon, and the Icewave. And that's amazing for it to have gotten better that quickly. And I'm so happy that you had them there. Thank you for sharing.
I had to have a good testimony, right? So I have to jellyfish. Thank that jellyfish.
Go and get stung. Well, and so I guess, John, I also know that I know that when you first tried it, there was something going on with your back. Can you just give that a quick recap of the back? What happened with your back? And
yeah, sure. Well, okay. When I was 12 years old, I was, as some of you know, most of my life, I've been a ballet dancer, and I was having a lot of pain in my middle of my back. So my parents took me to a doctor, and he looked at it and he said, "Wow, you have a degenerative vertebrae in your like third thoracic." And so it's probably not a good, because you got to do a lot of bending over, lifting ballet dancers, girls over your head and things like that. So he recommended me that I stop ballet, and I really didn't want to do that. So I didn't. And I just mitigated the pain over years. I tried a lot of different things: acupuncture, cold therapy, hydrotherapy, everything. And it would help, but it never really went away. So one day, a friend of mine invited me to come down to his house and try out this new thing that he thought could help my back. And so I did. And I really, like you, Linda, I looked at the thing and I said, there's just no way there's any healing properties in this little patch. But put the patch on the back, on that point in my back, my vertebrae. And he was just telling me all about what phototherapy was. It was all going in one ear and out the other ear. I'm just, I'm not science oriented at all. And it was just Greek to me. So I listened to him politely, but the pain didn't go away after even an hour or even 2 hours. And he was boring me to death. So I said, hey, I have to go back home and politely excuse myself. I was in so much pain that day. It had gotten really bad. So it was like almost a level 10. So my wife had to be driving. And I was just a few minutes out of Bellingham, where Linda is too. And all of a sudden the pain just turned off like that. And it shocked me so much that I kind of jerked, because I couldn't really move anywhere, without pain. And my wife was driving, kind of freaked her out. And what happened? And I said, all the pain's gone. She's like, what? I said, no, so anyway, after that, I was just afraid that the pain would come back. So I kept those patches on 24 hours is what you're not supposed to do. But I didn't take them off until the next day and continued to do that. And the pain just never came back, to this day. I mean, it's quite remarkable. So anyway, then here, that was my
Thank
journey.
you. Gosh, thank you so much, John.
Thanks, John, for sharing that. And thanks for recording it too.
That's a powerful testimony. And so people wonder, how is that possible? Well, part of pain is energy getting stuck. And so it may be that part of what's happened with John wore them for quite a while. He was also wearing the stem cell activating patch too, that can help lay down new tissue. So he probably changed the energy moving through the area, and then also started to heal what was happening, because that's the cool thing about the trifecta for pain, the Eon, Icewave, and X39, is that you're decreasing inflammation, you're moving the energy through the area, and then you're able to use your stem cells to start to repair things. So that's just so powerful, John. I appreciate you coming on and sharing. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yay. Yay. Well, so great story from John. Who wants to be next? One of my favorite is, I'm waiting for y'all to raise your hand, but I'm going to tell another. Rebecca, are you raising your hand?
Sure, I'd love to share a quick
great.
one.
Okay.
Oh, so just recently I've been traveling a bit, and I have had some back pain too for a while, and the lower part of my back, and I haven't been exercising as I normally would or swimming, and so I was like, oh, I can't believe it, and maybe not wearing the shoes I was supposed to wear, and I thought I had enough X39. I've been wearing the X39, and then I didn't have enough yesterday, or the day before. And so I was like, well, I have Eon and Icewave, and I'm just going to use them all. And so I put the Icewave on either side of my lower back. And then I ended up moving the white patch to the base of my neck. And and then I put the Eon right on the pain, just because I thought, well, why not? Instead of putting it on my belly button, I just put it right on my lower back in the middle. And like 20 minutes, 15, 10, I was already feeling like it was going away. And I was stretching my back and moving. And in 20 minutes, I was like, okay, this is good. So I wore them. So
jazz hands.
So I'm just like, yeah, I'm really excited because I get these little reminders once in a while. Like, I had a bee sting a couple of weeks ago too, and my finger was swelling up, and I'm allergic to bees. And I actually put the Nirvana on, which I'm sad we're letting go of, but the Nirvana helped calm me, and the Eon. So I'm just so glad we have the trifecta. I love that word, the trifecta for pain, because it really, those three have worked for me over and over and over again. So I'm looking forward to trying more of the Alavita, because that's my next thing in SP6 that I want to experiment with. So.
Nice. Oh, I'm so glad you had those. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Glad that and for me, it's every time I put it on, because stuff happens, you sleep wrong and you're like, oh gosh, I wake up and I'm like, this is not feeling good. And then I say, oh, I've got patches, I could put them on. And I'm like, gosh, it worked again. It's like, wow, really like that. When my ankle starts to do its thing, the other day I was like, oh, I'm just going to patch it up. And I put, right on my ankle, glutathione is another thing to add. If you try the trifecta and it's not enough, adding the glutathione's antioxidant can help. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's always surprising in a good way. So lovely. Okay. Thank you so much, Rebecca. All right. I'm looking for another hand. You can do it like this, or you can do it with reactions to raise your hand and tell us a little bit about what's going on. One of the most dramatic things that happened in my office was one time when somebody came in with back pain, being basically that. Oh, Robin, great. Okay. Oh, I'll save my story. You tell your story, Robin. Jump on.
You can continue. Go ahead.
Oh, well, somebody was just being carried in by a friend into my office, and I had just gotten the patches in the mail. I'm like, let's try these. And we put them on this person, and they're like, whoa, what did you just do? And I mean, it's so surprising when it works, especially something like that. So, and then they were able to walk out on their own steam. I used to do injections in my office, no more. So yeah, Robin, tell us.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Well, two things. One is, let's see. So in the last few years, I started to notice changes in my skin. I'm 54 now, so I mean, it makes sense. But it felt like little tiny bumps. And Dr. Linda, you might be able to use the right medical term for that. Like I think they use in the non-medical is like chicken skin, right? Like under my neck. Or on my neck, kind of right around there. And I'm like, oh, what is that? It used to be just soft and normal. And as time has gone on, I was like, oh, you know what? That seems to be gone now. And it's just back to soft, probably softer skin than I've ever had there. And it's just really kind of interesting how that to me is like youth, right? It's turning back the clock. It's whatever aging process was starting in my skin is now not happening. And even in my face, I mean, I really don't have very, very few lines to speak of. And it just feels like it's gotten even better. Even the texture, the softness, things that we talk about, that just happen. And it's really quite remarkable. So that's number one. And number two, I used to have problems standing for long periods in the center of my spine. Had to do with vitamin D and some calcification that happened from that. Got to get your K2, guys, to make sure you balance out your D3. So it was pretty uncomfortable. Like I would be doing dishes or, after a holiday meal and a lot of time on my feet, just stand. And the pain was like on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say maybe like a 7, not horrific, but definitely where if I sit, it would go away, but I wasn't able to sit. I had stuff to do. And now I don't seem to have that. So I think something is starting to repair in that process. And that's without using IceWave, actually. That's just with X39.
Nice. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, it's interesting, we talk about how much younger we feel. And, when I first started to use the patches, I mean, compared to that, I feel at least 10 years younger. And I know David, so David, your number keeps going up. I know. Although, so how much younger do you feel, David?
I had more pain in my 20s than I have right now. So I feel as good as I felt in my 20s, really.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we want for people is really to be able to do things that they'd ruled out, right? Get more active, go have more fun. I never thought I'd ever run again. And I registered for another half marathon, which is like, oh gosh, am I really going to do it again? After that last one, I was kind of like, okay, I don't know that I need to do that again. But, I guess just you're drawn to do the things, to challenge yourself now that you feel so much better. I want to go back to school. I think my brain is back. I could do that now. And so we want to help you guys as you're watching this, open up potential. And that's really what this can do. And it actually can do it in a lot of ways. So not just open up your health potential, but in terms of an opportunity that can, so I'm just going to quickly say, this is an opportunity because we're tapping into a growing field. The stem cell industry is growing fast. And this is also an opportunity for people who are interested in helping others and making some money. So it's you are an independent brand partner if you would decide to engage the opportunity, super flexible, fit it in the nooks and crannies, work from home. What happens is you'll get a website where you can send people to purchase. So you can talk to anybody who has shared this video with you about how you can do that. The patches are available all over the world. So if you're in Japan, you are shipped from Japan, or so you don't have to wait for them to come from the United States. It's similar. The structure is similar to a real estate model. That is, it's a mentorship model where you're taught to do the business through very simple steps, and it's super fun. It's a great opportunity. If some people don't want to build an organization, they actually can just retail these products. And so there's 4 different ways people can earn. Retail commissions is one, great for providers who don't want to build an organization, but there's other bonuses and a great potential for income for people. So I just wanted to mention that. And then Holly, you got your hand up. Are you there? Unmute yourself.
I think Holly's excited about Canada opening.
Holly's so excited about Canada, she can't even unmute the
Canada.
Yeah, she's dancing. She got that message from David yesterday. She was dancing. No, I just wanted to say, yeah. Yep.
August
David,
7th.
I should let you tell that, David.
Yes.
Yeah, August 7th. We're and there's going to be a 4-city tour, and it's going to be a big deal. So there's a lot of news coming out on that. August 7th, and most of the patches, right? Most of the patches.
Awesome. That's so exciting.
Are you coming to Canada?
An email today.
Are you coming to Canada?
Pardon?
Are you coming to Canada?
I may.
Sure you are, David.
We just found out about it, so we'll see.
Oh, that's
Well, thank you for sharing. Holly, can you share what you're excited about too?
So
yeah, we're also excited. You tell these Canadians how excited they are. We just talk. We'll just take over the call. No, I just can't get on my camera here again this morning, but it's, you just have to hang in there. Our son-in-law is a bodybuilder, and he is just, once in a while, he just overdoes it a bit. And a couple of weeks ago, he came in and he was just white, and we were like, what happened? He said, I just been laying on the floor. I turned the wrong way. And, and we're like, oh my goodness. So then I said, here, put these patches on. And he looked at me like I was absolutely insane. And he looks at that patch. He's like, yeah, right. And I said, no, let's put this on. He said, well, I got a phone. I know right away. I need laser on my back. And I said, well, let's just put this patch on first. So my daughter's going, just do it. Just do it. It's mom, just do it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to let up till you do it. So we put it on. He did have his laser done, but just within a couple days, he was so much better. Usually it's a couple weeks. So then he's like, well, I think the laser worked a lot better this time. I'm like, yeah, it was probably the laser, all right, but keep putting the patches on. So then he quit putting the patches on. Then he twisted it again. So he's a more is better type of person. And that's what I want to tell. When you talk to people, make sure that you're very clear on what this actually does. Make sure they watch these videos. Make sure they watch what Dr. Linda did this morning as a presentation so they know what they're doing. Anyway, when he twisted the next time, she went up. He says, I'm out of patches, but I feel so much more relief. And she said, you can't be out of patches. I'll go get you more. He had opened the envelope, took out all the rest because he said he realized how good they worked. He put all the patches across the lower part of his back and said, in no time, I am going to be up and running again. And we were just stunned. We're like, who in their right mind will do it? Well, a bodybuilder that's a more is better type person. So, he learned from that you just don't, try and go hard and fast. But he did come back after all this and asked me yesterday when I said it's open in Canada. He said, how soon can I put my order in? So you know what? It turned out to be like, she's not happy because he used all of the 39 in one day. But we learned, but you have to make sure because he looked at me like I was so insane. This will never work. And now he's saying, how soon can I order these? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have people in Canada that I've been sending them patches, and I know they're going to be so excited that we can now get them there. That's incredible. Thank you so much. So guys, this is why I say people should give this a 3-month try, because when the body is trying to heal itself, it takes time. So thank you so much, Holly. I love hearing that story. And guys, I am going to turn it over to David Jumper. I've got to go drive my kiddo. But David, you're there. Yeah. So David is going to do the spin to win. And
thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Dr. Goggin.
It's great to see you all. And I'm just going to go.
Linda.
Yes, I'm handing it over. Y'all rock.
Okay. Thank you. I'm stopping the live stream now.